Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Chevalier, where we are here to help men and women find happy and healthy relationships. And like always, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, South American, or even the penguins in Antarctica. At the end of the day, I think it's pretty fair to say that most people want to be involved in a happy and healthy relationship. And part of that process is dating. You can't get in a happy and healthy relationship without dating someone first. And why is dating still an acceptable method even after 10,000 years of human evolution? Because we come to the culmination, or the point, or the purpose of meeting women who say that before they take you in for a serious relationship that leads to intimacy, commitment, monogamy, and even a family, they want to get to know you first. Women over the generations have always had the same sentiment. I gotta get to know you before we become close to each other. I gotta get to know you first before we get more personal. I gotta get to know you first before we build a family or we grow a more stronger bond romantically. Which I've always been okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I think the value of a relationship is knowing that you want to be with that person in the first place. Knowing that you want to grow with that person. Knowing that you want to create a relationship that's going to positively affect both of you beneficially. In other words, I take the time to get to know you, you take the time to get to know me, we figure out what we want together, and then we grow on that. I think that's the most beautiful part of a relationship. Building that relationship through getting to know each other. In other words, you want somebody that's going to bring to a relationship what you're willing to bring to a relationship. The number one aspect of that is making time for each other. I think men are very aware that the best way they can make time for a woman is through working and earning enough money that's going to keep that specific woman happy. Every woman is different. Every woman wants something different. And that's why I often say that dating is based on you choosing a woman that fits your lifestyle by, however means you see, whether it's through online dating, whether it's going to a club, whether it's, out at a steak bar, whether it's going to TGI Fridays. And then if she's, is happy with what she got going on, making time for each other. The very basis of a relationship is finding time for someone that's going to find time for you. And I tell guys very often the best way a woman can show that she makes time for you is a woman who's going to call you on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, and spend time with you on a consistent and daily basis. She may not have time to spend with you on a daily basis, but if she can at least see you once a week, I don't think that's too much to ask of any guy. I don't care if it's just an hour for coffee, if it's Starbucks, if it's Dave & Buster's, if it's going swimming, if it's, sipping paint, if it's, going to, going to get some ice cream. I don't care. But I think that most men value and appreciate women that make time for them. And that's why I always focus so much on letting guys know that if you get to know a young woman and you're calling her every day, you're speaking to her every day, you're reaching out to her every day, I always employ men at some point stop calling her and wait to see if she calls you. Wait to see if she reaches out to you. Wait to see if she asks and see how you're doing first. Not in a text message. Not through social media, not through, sent your email 5 days later, but wait to see if she's going to call you within the next 24-hour period. I chose the 24-hour period specifically because most guys, if they're interested in a woman, they're going to call her every day. At least once a day. Drop a text message, hey, I just called you, see how you were doing. Or leave a voicemail or however they decide to reach out, but they keep that consistent communication because they want her to be focused on them until she decides to commit to him specifically. It's the same way on the other side of the table. Guys would like a woman who's going to show them appreciation and not through intimacy, because I think that so often we're so used to the intimacy angle that we tend to forget that the better part of a relationship is having someone to be with, having someone that's going to love you, having someone that's going to spend time with you, having someone that's going to help you build the happiness and family and inspiration that makes men go out into the world and earn as much money as they can so they can show that they have some worth. Because at the end of the day, for most men, they want to show the woman they're interested in that they have some worth, that they have some value, that there is a bigger purpose and reason for her being with them. And as long as she decides that being with them is a good option, then he can feel like he's doing his part to make it work. I think so often we're so used to hearing about what a man is supposed to do that very rarely do we ever hear about what a woman is supposed to do outside of intimacy. And I tell modern women so often, intimacy is important, but it's not the most important component. The most important component that a woman brings to a relationship is inspiration. Making a man feel inspired to go out into the world to work as hard as he can so he can show you that he's worth your time. So he can give you that lifestyle or help you pay bills or put you in a situation where you can get certain things that you want. I think at the end of the day, sometimes it's forgotten because we can sometimes be so focused on what a man's supposed to do that I think women forget to do their part. They're just, I know, and I'm not the only guy who've met women who just sit back and like, well, I'm just going to wait to see what you're going to do to show me that you deserve me. And I tell guys, when you come in that situation, head for the road. Because in a city like Atlanta, where there are 6 million people, there are more than enough older women of a mature age who's going to want to be with a man who's going to take the time to call you on a consistent basis, to reach out to you on a consistent basis, to talk to you on a consistent basis, where you don't have to sit back and be with a woman that's not that's too busy. Because I find it very interesting is, a lot of these women say, oh, I want a man that's going to love me, that's going to be there for me, and I'm asking God to send me a good man. And then when God does the unthinkable and actually sends them that good man, now they're shocked. Because they never expected it to happen. So it's like, now I got to make time. Now I'm making time for chinachas. I'm making time for peaches. I got to take care of my 16 nieces and nephews and my 5 kids. And I'm working 80 hours a day. And I just got so much going on. Because it's almost like calling their bluff. Because so many of these modern women feel that real men don't exist. And when they finally come up on a man that could be considered a real man, that's going to respect them, love, and appreciate them, in their mind, they got to find a way to justify their singleness by coming up with an excuse not to make it work. And that's why I say, guys, stop calling and wait to see if your woman is going to call you. Give it 24 hours. And in 24 hours, if you hear back, if she calls you, hey, I ain't heard from you today, what's going on? Then you got a woman on your hands you can kind of make it work with. Especially if she scolds you because she's angry because she got so used to hearing from her, then just let her know, I just wanted you to call me for once. I just want to feel appreciated. Let her know that you want her to call you. As a wise man once said, a closed mouth don't get fed. The best way to let a woman know how you feel is to let her know that you want to be loved, that you want to be appreciated. I know as men we don't say this very often because it goes against certain parts of our masculinity, but if a woman loves and cares about you as much as she says she does, then she'll hopefully feel where you're coming from and understand why you're putting yourself out there. No time to die, gentlemen. Give a woman 24 hours to call you back, and don't call her at all. And if you don't hear back from her, then maybe she's not the woman for you, and more than likely you deserve someone that much better. Till next time, peace. We gone.